What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Sisko and Mike Podcast. Feels like another. I don't know why we've been doing podcasts, and it feels like every time we have a break in between, it feels like forever, dude.
It's just a 2-week break. It
It just feels like I feel like rusty, you know.
Anyways, how was your Thanksgiving, fool?
It was good, dude. It was good.
You did a lot?
Yeah, I actually have no manches from Thanksgiving, so
Oh, you do?
that's gonna be one of my no
Oh,
manches.
shit, okay. It's not political this time, so I'm
No, it's
glad.
not political, dog. It's not political.
Okay.
But I want to introduce today's guest because, we got a dope-ass guest. He's mixing it up for you every day at lunchtime. He's from 93.9. We got DJ Vinnie Mack, man.
What's up,
Yes,
bro?
sir.
Welcome.
What up?
Hey, I forgot to add, you're a podcaster too, and now
Podcaster.
you're an influencer and a creator, right?
Something like that, yeah. Like to think so.
But before we get started into that, man, we talked a little bit about you being from Boyle Heights. You're originally born in that area and raised there, or?
Yeah. I'm born and raised there. I was born in White Memorial Hospital, for those of you who know the hospital, but I was born there. But I moved around a lot, so it's hard to say I'm like super born and raised there. You know, I went to elementary there, I went to middle school there, but my high school years, a lot of back and forth in other cities, so.
Okay.
I mean, that's usually how we all do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you did a lot of back and forth too when you were growing up too, right? From Almani to BP.
To Bone Park, yeah.
And I went from LA too. I went from the LA area to Bone Park and then kind of just
You lived in
stayed
Southgate, no?
Southgate.
Okay. Hey,
Well,
but
no,
quick
actually, we lived in Compton, then Southgate, then Bone Park.
question. When you say, when people ask where you're from, do you say like East LA or do you say Boyle Heights?
I said Boyle Heights.
Okay, because I know a lot of people get mad over that shit, right?
Yeah,
Like,
there is. There's a division, dog.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like with when you tell people from Almani, right? They say South Almani or regular Almani.
Well, I'm not going to
West
lie.
Covina. You know?
True.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I used to claim. Well, not claim. It's just I grew up in East LA area. I used to go to Boyle Heights. I grew up in Monte in Bone Park,
Yeah.
but people don't know where the fuck that's at. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
And so when I met people like overseas, when I was stationed overseas, people would ask me, "Hey, bro, where you from?" And I would say East LA. Why? Because if I said Bone Park, dog, they're gonna look at me like, "Where the fuck you from?"
Yeah, that's true.
So I would say East LA because we're technically in the eastern part of LA. It's still considered LA County. And one time, I met this guy who we became friends. He just arrived on station. This is in Japan. And I used to check in all the people that would come in to the station, all the new Marines. And I remember checking them in, and I would recruit, like, because we used to throw some barbecues and shit on the weekends. So I would recruit for all the girls. Like, when all the girls would come in, I'd get the folders and be like, hey, girls, we got this barbecues that we go on, blah, 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 right, on the weekends. And this homie, me tocó que hacer his interview. And he asked me, he's like, hey, man, where are you from? And I said, I'm from East L.A. And I guess this fucker had met my brother in boot camp. And I didn't know. And my brother had told him, hey, my brother is in Japan, in Iwakuni, blah, blah, blah. And he knew who I was, but I didn't know who he was. And he's like, are you sure you're from East L.A.? I was like, what the fuck are you fucking asking me? I'm toning up, right? Yeah. He's like, are you sure you're not from Baldwin Park? And that shit tripped me out, dog. Like, he just actually knew where Baldwin Park was. So that's why I asked about the Boyle Heights East LA thing.
Hey, do you guys ever change it up? Like, you know how when Mexican communities, you say like LA, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know how I went to Cal State Fullerton, right? So it's more predominantly white.
Uh-huh.
I'll switch it up. I say West Covina or Pasadena.
San Dimas
or
anyway.
Pasadena because they don't know. You tell them Baldwin Park, you tell them like East Los, and they'll be like, what? Like, they don't know
We
that
got a
shit.
Chicano.
Like
They
even
treat you a
now,
little different. Yeah.
yeah, even now, like OC people don't really know about LA stuff.
Yeah, I know, fool. But the OC people, they wear sandals with jeans, fool. Come on.
Nah, but even the OC, I don't even know about the OC either. Like, you tell me
Yeah,
Santa Ana or Anaheim, it's all the same.
I only know
Yeah.
Santa Ana, bro. I know Bristol Avenue or Bristol Street, whatever the fuck.
That's like the main street, huh?
That's like the Whittier of fucking Santa Ana or the hood.
Yeah, it is.
Whittier's not
Ana's
even hood. Whittier's nice now. So
It's true.
Whittier.
yeah.
Oh, Whittier's super nice, dude.
Well, but I'm talking about back in the day.
Oh, back in the day, yeah.
Well, who knows what it's gonna get now because they just started the lowrider thing again. They just legalized it again,
What?
lowrider and cruising. So that was pretty dope, dude. Growing up, I mean, you're like in Boyle Heights, East LA.
He said East LA. He was about to
I know.
say,
My
nah.
bad.
No, I don't get offended. It's fine.
All right.
I mean, I lived in East LA too. Like my kind of like my story behind everything is that I grew up with young parents, and a lot of it was we had a lot of rough times making ends meet. Well, not me. I was a baby or younger, so my parents we moved a lot of back and forth. Like moved to Boyle Heights, or we lived in Boyle Heights. We lived with my grandma or something. Then we'll move to East LA. Didn't work out. Come back. Then we'll move to like San Gabriel. Come back. Move to Rosemead. Come back. West Covina. Come back. So I've been, but Boyle Heights has always been like the central place to come back. So
it's always been home.
Yeah. So even when somebody says East LA, I mean, it's, to me, that's also a place I used to call home. So I don't get offended. But I know Boyle Heights people are like, no, we're Boyle Heights.
Yeah. I think it's the people that still stay there, right? That
Yeah.
are still there that kind of like claim, hey, no, dog, don't get it confused.
Yeah.
But once you move out,
which as they
like,
should.
eh,
I mean,
yeah. They got to rep, right?
yeah,
You got to
yeah,
rep your city and shit.
It's your home.
Like this one reps Redlands. I don't know why, but
I don't know. What the fuck,
it was always bragging about.
I'm not fucking
Nah, I'm just
representing no
messing.
Redlands, bro.
But you say you grew up with two young parents, right?
Yeah.
So they what? Like they just high school sweethearts, young.
Yeah, pretty much high school sweethearts. I want to say my dad was a senior. He was 17, and my mom was 15. And a year later, they had me. So
Damn.
So you're the oldest.
I'm the oldest. Yeah, but there's like a huge, 6-year gap between me and my younger brother, and then 10 years between me and my youngest. So we're all pretty.
Shit.
They learned their
spread
lesson.
out.
They learned their lesson, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, they learned a lot.
And how was that? Because I mean, even now, dude, like they're pretty young. So what's that feeling like? That they're still kind of within range. You know what I mean?
I mean,
like,
the dope part is like a lot of people trip out that I do a lot with them because they're like, oh, you go out to the concerts with your parents, you go to party with your parents. But I'm like, yeah, they're not far off from me. But even growing up though, it was I had to learn to become more slick because I couldn't hide shit from them.
Yeah.
It's like I had friends who used to get away with so much because their parents are like 20, 30 years older than them. So their parents don't know.
Yeah.
My parents knew, like if I'm lying or they knew, even internet stuff and things, like I couldn't get away from it because they're on game and they're learning as I am. So
Yeah, then all the catchphrases, all the slang and
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we're the same way, but like I feel like it's starting to get away from me. Like some of the new technology. Like when my daughter tells me things, so like I'm like, what?
that's because you're not hip, fool. You gotta
But
stay up.
no, but like with technology, like even with the iPhone and just little secrets, I'm like, oh shit, like, and I'm pretty technologically savvy. Like,
Yeah.
like I work with advanced machines and shit, so it's different. But it's like, what the fuck? Like it's starting to catch up to me, I guess.
Nah, not to me, bro. I try to stay on top because you have to stay ahead of the game. I got 2 teenage daughters, bro.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that's the worst right now too.
Yeah. So they come up with some like you mentioned ick earlier. I was like, what the fuck was ick a long time ago, right?
Are you talking about the lingo, the new language?
Yeah. So and that's
People
like,
get icked out.
yeah. So my daughters always say some random shit. I'm like, all right, fucking Urban Dictionary. What does it mean and shit? You know what I mean? Because you gotta stay on top.
You know what gets really annoying though, bro.
Oh man,
Bro.
I hate that shit.
Everything is bro.
Oh, so I'm annoying.
No.
No, I'm fucking
Your
with you.
kids doing that.
Yeah,
shit.
your kids doing it.
Your
It's
kids
like,
doing that shit.
Oh,
to
they
you.
call you bro? I
Yeah.
don't have kids. So.
no, not even me. Just like I tell them, hey, can you do this, bro?
Oh, I hate that
What?
shit. I hate that. You know who's doing that now? My 8-year-old.
Michael's doing
I'm like, bruh, the fuck?
Oh, you know what? My dad used to tell me the same shit. Ain't your fucking bro, I'm your dad.
So it's cool if you
That's
say it
how
with
my
the
dad
homies,
was
but
up
when
with
you
you.
say, bro, I was like, what the, are we equal? And
Yeah,
he's
just
like,
the
what
lingo.
that?
The lingo's catching up, man. It's getting crazy sometimes. But anyways, man. So your parents were young. Is that one of the reasons that influenced you in music? Because obviously, now you're doing DJing. Did they influence you? Did they get you into it? What was
I got influenced by everybody. I mean, them being young was obviously a big part of the influence because they listened to what they listened to. I mean, my dad used to actually be into like break dancing and pop
shit.
locking. So he was into that whole like hip hop vibe.
it? Yeah.
And then my mom was like all into oldies, like what we call oldies, but like the romantic, like Smokey Robinson, Al Green type music. But another part of the influence really is, I mean, I had a lot of babysitters. My mom was trying to make ends meet. My dad was trying to make ends meet. They'll bring, my uncles to come through, and every uncle had their own type of music.
Mm-hmm.
I had the younger one, some of the younger ones who were into like the Snoop Dogg and Tupac, things like that. The oldest uncles were into like disco and 90s, like, the 90s house, Richard Vision era.
Yeah.
So I listened to all that. They like, rock. They like Led Zeppelin and Metallica. I had other uncles who babysit me. They like System of a Down. They got into Linkin Park. So, and I was like absorbing all this music, and I didn't realize until I was like middle school, high school, like not only did I love all the music, but I realized that I had so much reach because of my music, my music knowledge. I made so many friends, so it was easy for me to connect with people through music.
Is there any type of music you didn't like?
I think country, like everyone else, was like, it's not that I don't like it. It was hard for me to to embrace it. Just because I never met anyone who liked country.
Yeah.
But I say in the past few years, shout out to Juju, who one of my co-hosts on the podcast. He loves country, and he showed me a couple good songs, and I'm like, okay, I could fuck with it.
Yeah, there's a
But
couple.
but in general though, like you show me new music, I'm probably gonna be a fan. Like I'm a music lover, so first and foremost.
So like DJing, for example, is one form of it. Did you ever do any other form of it? Did you get into like trying to play instruments or you were just mix?
I went through this trying to play the guitar era. My parents even gave me. I remember one year, my parents. Starts with my parents. I've always been big supporters of what I'm like trying to do, especially musically. But one of the things they actually helped me get was a guitar because I told them I wanted to learn how to play guitar. It lasted like a month. I would do those things. Those. I don't know if you remember those, but they used to have those online. It wasn't because I don't know how to read music. But it was like it was one of those. I forgot what it was, but it was like it tells you where to tap. It was like numerical type thing, and I would like that's how I learned, but only like certain songs. But that's about it. Like, it lasted a month. It was too hard, and
that's how I got my baby mama, bro. I told her I knew how to play the guitar when I first met her.
Something about being romantic. Playing the guitar is like romantic, right? So that's actually why I got into it. I wanted to get.
You wanted to serenade all the girls.
Yeah, but the shit was that I didn't know how to play the guitar. I just said it. I thought I wasn't gonna be with her long, and then I'm marrying her, had 3 kids with her, and then to this day I don't know how to play the guitar. Dog.
It wasn't until like a couple of years ago she's like, "Hey, you never played for me."
Yeah, she's like, "What the fuck? You never played this shit." I think that's the reason we're getting divorced because I never played this shit.
She called you off.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, you know what? You fucking lied to me."
Hey, that's a lesson for everybody. Hey, don't lie about fucking playing instruments.
It always catches up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we've all gone through that musical phase where, like, even growing up, I wanted to play drums, I wanted to play piano, I wanted to play guitar. But
damn, fool, I didn't know this shit.
But I mean, just wanting to is one thing. Fool, doing it is like I remember in TJ and La Línea, my mom bought me like those little guitars, the ukuleles. I felt all badass.
The $5 one. Yeah,
but no, never, dog.
Yeah, no, I had a guitar too, but también.
You know what it was too? I'm like very into video games, and I just play Guitar Hero all the time.
Yeah.
I could do this shit.
That's just easy, dog.
Yeah, you fucking advanced mode and shit.
Yeah, I'll play on hard and expert on the guitar, and I'll go crazy. I'm playing like Barracuda and shit, and I'm like, give me the real one.
You know what's funny? Because when you play Guitar Hero, you tap what's it called?
The strum.
Yeah, the strum. You're like fucking getting down with it. You think that's how it is in real life, and that.
It's not.
I don't know.
That shit hurts too, doing it for so long.
I know you're all fucking arthritis and shit.
Yeah, no, my hands are fucked up because of that game.
Yeah, me too.
For real?
Yeah.
Well, then
you never played it?
Yeah, I played it. I never played the drum one though.
Yeah, that shit was hard.
Yeah,
you have to. I'm not
the rock band
bro.
one.
Yeah,
That was too advanced.
It's too much.
Too much coordination for me. Fuck that. You gotta be like dun dun.
You have to
dun.
put too much trust in other people playing with you. It's like,
Yeah, I never played that one, so that wasn't for me, man. The Guitar Hero was dope though. That show was pretty dope. But like we're talking about the music now, and how did you get into DJing?
So, like I said, I've always been a music lover, and I remember honestly it was more of the hustler mentality for me, because growing up I didn't have a lot of money, or I had parents trying to make ends meet, and I would always try to find ways for myself to make money. And I want to say in high school, my freshman sophomore year. I learned through one of my uncles watching him download, on LimeWire and stuff. and we used to use this program called Airwaves. Airwaves was another version of LimeWire. And I would see him download music, right? He'll make like these like custom CDs and give them to me. And I'd be like, I want this song. And it's like the idea of mixing 2 albums or 3 artists and putting them back to back was crazy to me. And when I got to high school, I learned how to download and not get the viruses and stuff. I learned the hard way, but I also learned how to like take out viruses. So shout out to the viruses that helped me become who I am.
You became a DJ and a computer expert.
No, I do that. Honestly, this is really how I got to where I'm at. But yeah, I started making mix CDs, and I remember one of my friends was like, "Oh my god, like I really want this album, but it's like $20." I'm like, "I can get it for you." And I was like, $5. And then I went home, downloaded the album, gave it to him, made $5. And then I got that thirst. Like,
Hell yeah.
Damn, I can make some money off this, And I tell people like any song you want, I'll put on a CD for $5. Like,
oh shit!
and I was like selling them, and then and honestly, I always tell this story. It's like a lot of DJs always have like these people, right, who they grew up with, and like, yeah, my dad was a DJ, my uncle, my cousin, or whatever. But for me, it was I was actually bored one day. I was procrastinating, not doing homework, and that's when I'm the most. That's when I think the most, right? Like, and I'm like, I don't want to do homework. Let me think of something else I can do instead of doing homework. And I found this thing called it's virtual DJ now, but it used to be called like Atomics or something like that. So it was pretty much a virtual DJ setup, and I downloaded it and I was like playing with it. I already had a huge library, right? And I'm like learning how to like throw songs side by side, and it had this thing called Auto Mix. You click it and it like mixes it for you. It wasn't clean. It sucked, but it was like, it moved the crossfader for you. And I was like, oh shit. So, and it was a record function and I recorded it. And I remember it was, I did it for maybe like an hour, but it did it for me. And it didn't sound bad to me. And I played it for somebody and they liked it. And voila. I was like, oh shit, maybe I'll do this now. Like, cool. Doing the albums is cool and playing the random songs is cool on the CD, but now I could do a mix. And then I grew up listening to like Richard Vision and Bad Boy Bill and even DJ E-Man, like the whole Power 106 thing. So I remember I'm like, maybe I could do DJing now since I have the tool in front of me and I know I have all the music. Why not? And yeah, it's generally how it started in my head.
That's dope, dude. That's pretty dope because I mean, shit, everybody thinks you have to have like all the equipment and the Technique fucking mixers and and it's like that. You literally just use your fucking computer.
No, and even then, like I remember, like I said, my parents have always been like supporters. My senior year in high school, my dad worked with somebody. I want to say his name was Ismael. I remember he worked with my dad, and he just happened to say like, oh, I'm getting rid of equipment. DJ equipment. He did DJing on the side on the weekends, and it was in that era. This is 2009. So this is when there was like, it was getting more digital in the DJ side, in the DJ world, and they were able to make everything more compact. So this guy had a bunch of old school equipment, and he told my dad about it. My dad remembered like, oh shit, yeah, my son is thinking of being a DJ. So one day my dad kind of like, hey, here, I'm gonna link you up with this guy. He's going to give you equipment, and he'll let you do payments. Now I'm in high school, so the equipment probably cost me like $2,000. So making payments was like, how the fuck am I going to make $2,000? Yeah. And he was like, oh, give me money here or there, $100, $200. So I said yes, and I didn't know a thing about it. So when he gave me the actual equipment, I realized I didn't know shit about it. Because I learned so much doing the auto mix. It did it for you. So I don't know what the crossfader was. I didn't know about the volumes and, dealing with the bass and the treble and all these knobs. Like it was so foreign to me. So I accepted the equipment, and thank God my dad was like, I'll do the payments for you. Just, give it back whenever you actually make business in the future. And I was like, cool. So I did that with that, but I didn't learn how to use the equipment until I was in college.
Damn.
Yeah. So I spent a whole year looking at this and not knowing what to do with it.
That's crazy because I remember. I mean, I think every one of us wanted to be some type of music thing. Yeah. I used to want to be a DJ too.
I had the same thing, the virtual DJ. I think I still have it on one of the computers, to be honest with you.
No, but I used to do something similar like him. I used to do CDs for the girls. I used to do mixed CDs for the girls. Actually, I did mixtapes back when I was in junior high because CDs were brand new and they were expensive. So what I would do is I would wait for all the like Thanksgiving or New Year's or Christmas, the DJs in Power 106 or in Kiss FM or whatever, they would drop their mixes. Remember?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh shit! So I would sit there by my dad's pinche grabadora. And I would put a tape in, a fresh tape. A cassette, yeah. And I'd just wait there, fool, to press record. And when the song that the girl requested wanted, I would fucking record and shit. But it would say, like, hey, welcome, this is DJ so-and-so. So I would have to like dub it and shit, and then I would make mixtapes for the girls. But I never got into it like he did, where he got equipment. I mean, even now I look at like some of the fucking DJ stuff that actual like in the production, and I'm like, why do they need so many buttons?
Oh
Do
yeah,
they
no, a
even
lot of
use
it's
them
just
and
for
shit?
show.
Ah,
Yeah, no, honestly, and it's a big thing going on in the DJ community, because you see a lot of the viral TikTok people, a lot of viral videos, and usually it's a lot of EDM based mixers who are getting all these like viral videos, but honestly, they're not really doing much. And most of the time it's already pre-recorded. Like they're great producers, so they know how to like, match songs already in advance. So pretty much what they're doing is like they'll play that version, but in the camera they're like turning knobs and pressing buttons.
It's not even connected.
And that's why it makes me look bad, because like when you see me at the club, I'm chilling. Like I drop a song, I'll make a little scratch here or there, and then boom, cool, I got 2 minutes. Titi me preguntó, I'm gonna play like for 3 minutes. Text back, post on my story. If there's this chair, I'm gonna sit down. Like I'm chilling, and then you see DJs on camera and they're just fucking going crazy and like turning knobs.
So
nothing's
that whole shit doesn't exist no more. Like the whole fucking
scratching,
the scratching, the up and downs.
Yeah,
and all that?
don't get me wrong. There's still DJs who still like.
Yeah.
But you could tell, like you see, if you see a DJ mixing with the turntable and they're scratching and doing things like that, like you could kind of tell what they're doing. But there's some that if they're only touching the center console, but you're hearing all kinds of other sounds. For the most part, usually it's already pre-recorded.
Gotcha.
And they can't do that in person.
Is that frowned upon? Like, do you guys talk shit to each other?
That's what I was
in
gonna
the DJ
ask,
community?
dude. Like
the
old school DJs.
Well, the DJ community is a very toxic community.
Okay.
And that's a real thing.
A lot of haters.
Everyone hates on each other.
Okay.
I'm one of them. Like, and it's, I don't even know what it is. It's just, I don't know if it's the culture or what. I'm working on trying to like big up. I mean, usually like I big up most DJs that I know or that I see. I'm not afraid to like comment on their videos and like, oh shit, they tried it. Cool. Like I'm down with it. But I already know in the back of like most DJs' brains, it's they see the video and they want to break it down and like hate on it. You see a DJ get a big gig, they want to hate on it. I used to get a lot of hate because I don't use headphones when I DJ. I use one turntable when I DJ. I try to simplify my work too, Yeah. So and for me, like me not using headphones, right? Like most DJs everyone knows DJs for having the headphones on, but for me, it's like I don't need them or I don't really use them because for the most part, like I know what song I'm playing and I've memorized how it goes. I memorize where I'm gonna cut out, and because for me, I'm very, like I said, I'm a music lover. So if I hear a new song that I really like, I'm gonna hear it 10 times over and over and over again until I memorize. All right, this is a good part to mix into. This is, I'm gonna try it in person, or this is the part that okay, I'm gonna keep this part out. Like I don't need to listen to the next song because I already know what it sounds like. But most DJs, it's like a comfort thing, like they want to make sure, okay, this is the right one that I'm gonna use. So, but yeah, in terms of like the whole hating thing, like, yeah, that's for sure a toxic part of the community. But I feel like now a lot of DJs are working on that to like help big each other up because I think people are realizing together we could do a lot more.
You know what I think it is too? I think it's because gigs.
Yeah.
You're all fighting for a big gig or one gig, and there's a lot of DJs out there.
Yeah.
There's some that are like starting off, and then there's some that are already experienced.
Yeah.
So it's not even just that though. Now, so before it was always the old school versus new school DJs, right? Like the old school guys were always like, I used to do my crates and I used to, do everything manually, and I didn't need a laptop, and everything has to be on vinyl, and it's like cool to each their own. Then you have the new guys, so like we don't need that anymore. Everything's digital, and we have a sync button. It's okay to use a sync button, but even there's a community we don't use a sync button. There's a community we use a sync button, and it's like I'm the person. It's like it don't matter to me as long as people are having fun. It's all that it should matter. At the end of the day, to be a DJ is to make sure everyone out there is having fun. I don't care what you use. I don't care if you DJ on your phone. I don't care. I mean, I've heard DJs fucking set up. I've seen DJs set up a laptop with just virtual DJ, aux cord it, and kill it. And do better than the person who's using turntables and scratching. And so, but now it's like you used to have the old school and new school, but now you have the birth of the social media DJ, which is a third community. But a lot of the big issue with that, though, is that I think a lot of the coming out of pandemic, since there was a birth of a lot of people who became DJs and, you know, they got good views or they would like live stream on Twitch and, oh shit, I'm famous online. Well, now when people were starting up their own clubs back again, they're like, who do we hire? The people that were already established and we used to work with, or these new cats who have so many views and they don't know how much to charge, so they'll probably charge cheap. So we'll bring them and they'll bring, you know, viewership and they'll bring a whole new crowd, which makes sense business-wise. But a lot of times it became a thing where these guys who are good on social media aren't good in person. Because on social media, you're carrying a crowd for a minute, 30 seconds, right? The one mix. But in person, you got to carry a crowd for an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah.
Even 2 or 3 hours if you're doing like a quince, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, cool, you're great at DJing online and you played your 2 best songs, but what are you going to play after that? So now that's where it's like very torn and split, and there's a lot of like gray area in that in terms of like DJs getting booking. So everyone's, it's like, it's hard to get booked right now in terms of like consistency because everyone's looking for something else, whether it's the social media DJ, the old school DJ, or the ones who are in the middle who could do a little bit of everything. So
shit, I'm looking for the DJ to do it for under $100.
Hey, exactly, right?
You know, that's another thing, right? Like a lot of people don't value DJing as well. To be honest with you, there's some people, like you said, that don't know how to DJ, but they want to charge you DJ prices. Mm-hmm. So you're like, what the fuck? I'm not paying you $500, bro, for 3 hours. And all you're doing is just standing there and you're not even talking. Yeah. Like to me, DJing is coming over. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, well, come to the stage, you know, communicate, like you said, work in the crowd. Yeah. And so it's hard to pick a DJ.
I think that's the important part. Well, this is my opinion, you know. I think what makes a good DJ is reading the crowd. Yeah. Like you start getting people to dance, and it's like, all right, I got to keep it up. But I've heard there's a lot of different things, right? You go by the crowd or you go by the BPMs, right? Do you guys try, is that an actual thing where you try to keep it consistent with the BPMs? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Honestly, like every DJ works so different. The BPM, honestly, is just the rate of the song, you know, like how fast it's going. Mm-hmm. So, for example, most hip-hop and reggaeton, you'll find between 90 BPM and 100 BPM, you know? That's how many beats per minute. Mm-hmm. And then when you're thinking of, like, EDM or, like, dembo or, like, you know, like techno, that's 128 BPM. So that's where the BPM comes in. Mm. And it honestly just depends what kind of vibe people are looking for. But also, I think for a lot of DJs, I think now it's become a thing where DJs aren't as open when it comes to like the format of music or the genre they're playing with, because people are in general are so black and white now. Yeah. It's not like like before it was like, you know, growing up Hispanic in LA, like you grow up liking disco and house and hip hop and Latin music and corridos and, you know, whatever, like you grow up liking everything. But now it's like I like this artist and I like this genre and that's it. You know, there's people who are like, I'm a Lil Uzi fan, and that's all I'm going to listen to. I'm a Drake fan, and that's all I'm going to listen to. I'm a Kanye fan, that's all I'm going to listen to. I'm a Bad Bunny fan, that's all I'm going to listen to. Even like when the birth of the corridos, like corridos is huge, right? And it's Latin music, and it's like it's dope to finally get that recognition. But at the same time, you had so many people against it because it's like, well, reggaeton should be king because, you know, we're the main Latin genre right now, and people didn't like the people collabing and trying to cross over, so I think it's a lot of black and white right now. Because before it was like, remember, I don't know if you guys remember, Lil Wayne was doing the rock. Yeah. Tried doing the rock. A lot of people embraced it, but even then it was like, but I remember when Jay-Z did the Linkin Park crossover, people loved it. Yeah, it was, you know. Yeah. So it was like, I feel like before it was a little more embraced. Now it's very black and white. Yeah. You know, so it's really weird. So a lot of DJs find that niche, the one genre they're good at, and stick to it, and it's very hard to leave it, you know.
I think it's a cycle. We've said that a lot of things are cycles, like trends, right? Yeah. I think in like 70s and 80s, people were like that, black and white. You either like heavy metal or you don't, you know? Yeah. You either like disco or you don't, hip hop or you don't, right? In the 90s and early 2000s, I feel like music changed. There was a R&B, you had a hip hop, you know, different. You had like Ja Rule then start doing like R&B stuff, and you had 50 Cent. You had people doing different things. And now I think you got a great point, because now it's starting to be like the same thing. People are like, oh no, that's not a real corrido. Like even now, like Fuerza Regida, Junior HPs are like, oh no, I don't like that. That's not corridos.
Yeah, we like banda better.
Yeah,
but,
it's like, you know,
but it's okay to like both. It's cool.
And then like the collabs, the same thing. You know, Bad Bunny jumped on the song with Grupo Frontera, and you had people that liked it, and then you're like, oh no, that shit, they shouldn't be doing that shit. That fool was just trying to jump on the hype.
Well, I remember, but I remember even before pandemic, Bad Bunny hopped on with Natanael Cano.
Mm-hmm.
And even that was like very 50-50 split, because it was like the first time people heard corridos tumbao. I mean, it had been around a little bit before that, but that was the first song that was like, oh shit, Bad Bunny's on it. That was the first time I heard a corrido and I liked it recently. You know, I mean, obviously we grew up listening to all the older stuff with like Ramon Ayala and stuff like that, but now it was like, oh shit, this is actually pretty dope. And that was a very split feeling too. Some people people hated it.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you just got to appreciate it for the art. Music is just dope in its own form, you know?
Yeah,
any type of music. I've learned that to appreciate, even country. I was like the same thing like you. Never listen to country, and now like I have a playlist for it, yeah?
I have a couple songs.
So it's like you start expanding and you just start appreciating for what it is. There's different genres for a reason. Obviously, there's going to be people that just steer towards one more than the others.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be closed-minded. You should actually listen to everything and appreciate it for what it is. Because a lot of it, if you think about it, comes from the same thing, you know? Just creativity and art. So
I think people are just going to hate food no matter what.
Yeah.
There was going to be people hating if you do podcasting, if you do like when you were talking about like the hate is real in the DJing world. Now that I think about it, shit, in the photography world, it's the same way.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you shoot with this camera, oh, you ain't shit. Oh, you don't got this lens, oh, you ain't shit. Oh, wait, I got this gig, you didn't. You know, it's like, fuck, dude. Like, as long as you create something, fuck, who gives a fuck, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, though, even like me being in, like, when I moved to the radio industry, maybe, I mean, I've been doing radio for, I want to say, since like 2018. But live radio, like actually being a radio jock, I already started last year. Behind the scenes, most people that I ran into are very helpful, and they, you know, they're very open. Even in the podcasting world, I feel like the community is pretty strong. I'm sure there's a few people who, you know, gatekeep and the whole nine. You're gonna get that everywhere, but for the most part, every podcast community I've met, even like you guys online and stuff, like everyone's very helpful, and everyone's like, I've had people DM me like, hey, do you know, here's a secret that I found. I met the guys from La Platica at an event, and they were like, dude, we met and it was cool, and then we were talking about editing process and things like that, and even the IE and Friends guys like Saul and you know, Aaron and all that stuff. Like most of it was talking about like what are the editing processes, or you know, what are good ideas to help each other out, or to like, oh well, this video was cool and this and that. Like it was very helpful. In the DJ world, you don't get that for the most part. Everyone's like, fucking hide your laptop. There's even a setting on your laptop where you throw a song on that you're gonna play and you could hide it. Like it'll be a blank screen, so if another DJ looks, like they can't see what song's playing. What shit like that, bro. It's yeah. There's
Shazam,
hater shit like
that.
Shazam
that song. Like
yeah, no, and even that, like
it's hard to get.
It's fucking people hide that shit, you know. But there's DJs like that just let me hide my screen. And for me, it's like, bro, you want the song? Here, take it. Because I'm the type of person who's like, look, you can have all the tools that I have. It's fine. But I don't think you're going to have the same sauce that I do. You know? I'll give you all my tools. It's fine. But you're not going to do what I could do. And that's how I see it.
That's what I want to ask you now that we're talking about that. What do you think separates DJs? Like, obviously, you know, there's going to be the good DJs that can mix and put songs together and do this and that. Then there's DJs that don't, but like you said, the social media, they have personality and they're like all over. What do you think is the right mix, or what separates
right
them?
Now? It's such a weird area right now. It's because some of the best DJs I know don't get booked. A lot of the best DJs I know need to start their own party to get. I mean, a lot of people who start their own parties are people who just weren't getting booked or weren't getting the love that they deserve. You know, so being the best DJ is not the best way to get gigs right now. Absolutely not. It's all marketing and promotion right now. And the best DJs in the world, the ones who get paid the most, are EDM DJs. And they're not. Most of them aren't even DJs, or didn't start off as DJs. Most of them were producers that started calling themselves DJs because, I mean, as a producer, and it makes sense because as a producer, you make a song, then the DJ is getting paid to play your song, even though you're the one who made it, even though you're getting royalties and stuff. But now it's like, why am I gonna pay a DJ to play my song? I could just play it myself. Look at Calvin Harris, right? Like Calvin Harris, great producer and stuff, and he has a huge library of music that he's made. Now he gets paid millions to play his own music. Why should somebody else get paid for them playing his music?
Is that like DJ Khaled too? He does more producing and he just...
Well, DJ Khaled did start off as a DJ, but yeah, his notoriety is producing. Yeah. It's not even DJing. But yeah, but a lot of people make it big in one world and then cross over. I mean, look at Snoop, Snoopadelic. You know, DJ Snoop, like he's always been a rapper, you know, one of the best rappers, one of the GOATs, a lot of people would say, and made great music, and he transferred over to be a DJ, and he gets DJ bookings. Damn. Look at Shaq. Shaq's
Shaq's
you know,
DJ?
Shaq's a DJ.
He's done like arenas.
Tomorrowland and shit, like some of the biggest DJs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was everywhere. He owns fucking pizza. No, what is
exactly.
it? Papa John's?
Papa John's.
Part
owner.
He owns a bunch of things.
But
even him, DJ World, you know. I mean,
but that fool has to have like a big ass keyboard and shit, right? Because
I think he uses the regular equipment.
He probably destroys that shit and shit.
But I respect Shaq because Shaq crossed over. But Shaq's always wanted to be in music. He used to be a rapper.
Well, yeah, he used to rap. He did that song.
He just did one with Coyotes. The Coyotes.
A song?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the Coyotes. He just did a song with them.
Shit.
Yeah,
I know he did that one song, I like playing on the west side. Yeah. He was playing on the east side. That was a dope song.
So the dope thing about Shaq is that he like, you know, he learns the right way type thing. But even then, like his notoriety is through basketball, but he's able to cross over. A lot of influencers, same thing. They're hitting that point where it's like, yo, they make it big as an influencer and they're like, let me know how to DJ.
So what do you say? What do you say to somebody who's young that wants to aspire to be a DJ and might not have that notoriety or influence or
charisma?
That wants to, that does not have the charisma, but can mix it like nobody else can. What do you tell the people like that so they don't lose or they don't get discouraged? What would you
learn how to do it? Honestly, like it's learn. My mentality really is just learn how to do everything you can. Sorry, my mom's calling me.
You do answer?
No, that's fine. My thing really is just learn how to do all aspects of it. Try your best to market yourself, and obviously keep the DJing in handy. It's such a weird area. Like I'm telling you, such a weird area. So I don't want to give the wrong impression, because even then, like myself, like I'm still learning how to market myself better. And I mean, I've gotten all these gigs and stuff, and the crazy part is I haven't posted any DJ content till yesterday. I haven't posted DJ content like in 2 years, but I'm getting DJ gigs. So that should say it all.
How did you take us a little bit to the process of how did you end up going from partying in college or DJing in college and DJing at other events and then landing a radio station job?
Man, so that process was crazy. I know we talked a little bit before, and I said a little bit of it was luck in terms of like just meeting the right people. And all right, so the backstory of how I even landed in the real world of DJing, because before I was in college, I was in a frat, Sigma Nu, and my in with a lot of people was, yo, I'm a DJ, and met a lot of girls. Oh yeah, I'll DJ a party, $100, fuck it, let's do it. I'll DJ the whole night, and I'll do one party, and sorority girls there, hey, can you do our party? Yeah, let's do it. I'll go to their party. Oh, another sorority, another, and then next thing you know, oh, my cousin's having a quinte, blah blah blah. And at the time, I did have a girl, so that was, I ended up getting a girl, and that's when it was like kind of shifting. Couldn't make myself as available to all these sorority girls as a mixer, but luckily I met her sister. I knew a guy who knew a guy, and they had open turntables. I don't know if you guys ever been to Azul in Alhambra?
Oh yeah.
So Azul in Alhambra, they used to have this open turntables thing, I guess.
Shit.
And one day, this is 2014, one day they had open turntables, and they somebody told me about it, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll check it out. And I brought a bunch of fraternity sorority girls, and I DJ'd. And in that DJ process, obviously, I brought a lot of people, which for a promoter was like fucking boom, that's money.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck how he DJs. I don't care how he DJs. You just care you brought people.
Yeah.
But the other part was the person who was switching off the DJs, because before, like now, if you connect, you could connect 2 laptops to one setup, and to cross over is easy. Like if one DJ is finished, the other one just connects to the other USB and he takes over. Before, you would have to like completely stop the music or do this effect where it just loops. Well, the person who knew how to loop it, do you guys know DJ Precise?
Sounds familiar.
He's on TikTok. He has like fucking 5 million followers.
I think so. It sounds familiar.
Yeah, so DJ Precise was a guy who was switching off the DJs. And so when we were mixing, it was my first time mixing in a public setting where there's actual grown adults there. And I kept asking him, like, yo, how am I doing? Am I doing fine? Am I doing cool? And at the time, Precise was 20. I was 21. And I remember he was on the radio already. He was already doing jump off mixes. I don't know if you guys remember jump off mixes to Power 106. Yeah. But he was doing jump off mixes, and he would do like their guest mixes. So once every few months, he'll drop a mix. So I remember the name. I don't know it was him. But it was cool. We exchanged when I finished. We talked a little bit. I followed him on Twitter, and that was that. And I remember I was working at Pizza Hut at the time. I actually went to Scovina during that time, but I was working at Pizza Hut, and I remember seeing him doing his DJ life when he was like 21, 22, 23, doing bigger clubs, getting on the radio more. I had a really bad day at Pizza Hut. I used to be a delivery driver, and I remember I fucking tweeted him. I sent him a DM like, "Hey, bro, can you teach me how to DJ?" Like, and I already knew a little bit, but like actually DJ, like for real. And he responded right away, and he was like, "Yeah, bro, for sure. Like, pull up, and I'll give you some lessons at my house." And I was like, "Oh shit!" So maybe a couple weeks later, we met up, and he showed me a little bit about like the BPM, but he's the one who put it in my brain. Like, bro, like it's not hard to get on the radio, honestly. Just when it comes to mixing, as long as you know how to transition cleanly and you know your music, you can really take it anywhere. Like Precise is known for scratching and doing these crazy beat juggling and like just dope ass tricks, right? But that's all just like a cherry on top. And so, because I can't do that. Even now, I can't really do shit like that. But I learned how to transition. And he also told me, like I said, I used to be into video games. I'm still into video games, but during that time, I was really into it. He told me, like, change your habits. Like, you play video games a lot. On your off time, instead of playing a video game, practice in your room. So I did some extreme shit. I got rid of my TV. I set up my DJ equipment. And when I'll get bored, I was forced to have to practice, even if it was for like 5 minutes, but practicing, transitioning, not even touching my turntables, just transitioning. And little by little, I got better as a mixer. And during that time, Precise got hired by Power 106 on the street team. And that's when it hit me, and I'm like, oh shit, maybe I could do this for real. And also at the same time, I was going back to school because I had dropped out. But I was going back to school, and Cal State LA was starting up Golden Eagle Radio. And Golden Eagle Radio is the college radio station they have now. And Golden Eagle Radio at the time was still very new, but they were getting all the bookings on campus when, an organization would have an event out on campus and they need to hire DJs, they'll just hire Golden Eagle Radio. So it was kind of like perfect timing where I'm coming back to school. This Golden Eagle Radio is brand new, and they were looking for their first DJs and stuff like that. And, I reached out, and, they reached out to me because some of the people from sorority and fraternity world were there. And we were already, like, thinking about, like, yeah, we should join up. And sure enough, I joined Golden Eagle Radio. I learned a little bit of the radio side on that world. And I was like, oh, shit, this is really a great possibility. And then having Precise on the other side, and I'm seeing his growth and seeing how he's moving, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, I'm gonna apply that once I graduate college. And yeah, just watching, meeting the right people, and then I remember my senior year. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Teddy Mora. He used to be on Power 106 in the morning show. He's also on Wild and Out right now. And Juju, who's my co-host, they invited me to the studio my senior year. I remember that they invited me to the studio around St. Patrick's Day, and it was my first time in the Power 106 studio, and it was very like influential for me because I'm like, fuck, I'm in here. They're live on the radio, and you know, I'm seeing. I remember DJ Inferno was DJing, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I'm in here, and they asked me. I remember they asked me that night. They're like, yo, how come you're not doing the street team with the radio station? Like, and I was like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm good enough because for me, I've always grown up listening to all these DJs, and you put yourself next to them, right? And I'm like, can I be a DJ Vice or Eric Deluxe or a Big Cypher or Felly Fel or even Richard Vision, you know? And so I always put myself in there, and I'm like, I can't do that. And they're like, no, bro, you're not going to show up and you're on the radio. You're going to show up, join the street team. You're going to learn the ins and outs with that process. It's kind of like a growing process, and you're going out to events and you're representing a brand. You're learning how to maneuver in that world. And once with that growth comes, then you'll, you know, be ready for the radio.
Basically, you got to put in the work, right?
Yeah.
That's
and I did that. So 2018 was that year for me where it's like it all came together where I'm about to graduate college. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I thank God Juju and Teddy Moore put in my brain too, along with Precise, that like you could be on the radio. It's not as hard as you think. You just got to put the work in. And that's what I did. Joined the street team, and any gig that was available, I was like, fuck it, let's do it. Like, and I'm talking like, I know there was some like they'll send you to a random business and, you know, middle of South Central or middle of Inglewood, middle of Montebello, whatever. And there's not going to be a lot of people. There's not a lot of shine in it. You have to do all the heavy lifting, you know. You have to load up a truck, drive to your van, do the 2 hours, but you have to set everything up. You're sweating. It's hot. It's cold. Be on the mic. You have to DJ for 2 hours. Maybe you'll see 5 people tops the entire time. You know, like it's not glamorous at all. Sometimes you'll get like the cool, like, oh yeah, like Rolling Loud booked Power 106, so you get the Rolling Loud one, and you're like, oh shit, like that's you see the concerts and stuff like that, and those are cool. But for the most part, like on a regular week, you're not gonna get the glamorous gigs, but you're learning the process of how to speak correctly, how to not cuss on the mic, which is a big one, you know.
Yeah, I'm really learning that too.
How to play clean music, you know, how to like read a crowd, you know, look at age differences, and that's the process with being on the street team. So that was a lot of it was part of my development, you know. But really that's what I did. I mean, I got lucky with meeting the right people, but they put me in the positions and I took advantage too, because there's a lot of people who meet the right people. Yeah. They'll put you in the position, but if you don't take advantage of it, that's when you get lost in it.
That's what I was going to tell you, bro. You got to give yourself more credit. It's not just luck, because, I mean, let's face it. The way things work, even with my field, you know, is it's who you know.
Yeah,
and
always. I mean, that's everywhere in the world right now.
The reputation they have of you, you know what I mean? Or what people say of you. So as long as you do that, but you got to get out there too, because it's not just going to fall in your lap. You reached out to Precise. You DM'd them and shit. If you didn't send him that DM, it doesn't matter if you knew him or not that one time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's you got to give yourself credit, because it's doing the work too. Yeah. It's luck at the same time and reaching out and who you know, but you have to put in the work too.
Yeah. So I mean, when to go back with what I would tell a DJ would be that, on top of marketing yourself, is actually being out there and being there in person. You're not gonna get business from home.
Yeah. Show up.
Show up. Show face. Let people know that you're available. That's number one. You know, and I'm be nice to people.
I'm sure that when you first started, you weren't making the money that you're making now. Right?
Absolutely not. So I was getting $50 or no money.
So, and that's the hard thing. See, a lot of guys don't or guys and girls don't want to put in the work. Like even with photography, there's a lot of things that I've done for free. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like, I could have just said no, right? I could have been like, no, you're gonna pay me or not. But you know what? In the photography, at least I'm speaking for me. I've gotten to meet people that I never thought I would meet. You know, I got to meet my favorite rap group of all time. which is Delinquent Habits. I got to shoot with them. I got to actually be friends with them. I actually shot Eve's wedding when he got married a couple years ago. So sometimes you got to put in the work.
Yep.
And if you don't put it in, ain't nobody going to give it to you. No, nobody's going to come knocking on your door.
It's always about the long-term goal, too.
Yeah.
People are always just thinking short-term. Like, I'm thinking
What I
about
want
tomorrow.
now.
Yeah, like, I need to get paid. I need to make it big tomorrow.
And I think that's what the TikTok DJs are probably, they don't see the future. They see the now.
Well, they're taking advantage of it.
Instant gratification.
Yeah,
and that's what.
And a lot of people get it twisted. They're like, have 1 million views, so I should have $1 million.
Shit,
It ain't like that. I'm sorry.
Recently you said something a little controversial to DJs, bro. On your podcast, actually, when they asked you, DJing or influencer, and you kind of lean more towards the influence side.
Absolutely.
And you're talking about it right now. You're marketing yourself at the same time. So you think that's been a bigger part of it? You think that's the future of it?
I absolutely do because, but I mean, my thing too is that a lot of DJs are so proud to be DJing, which is like, by all means, yes, you love your craft, but they get lost in just the DJ world. And my thing is like, you could do both. It's fine to do both. And most DJs have great personalities, and it's you could channel that, like you have to be cultured to be a great DJ. If you're cultured, that means you know a lot of things and a lot of random stuff, and you could use that to your advantage, where you could do both. But I think right now I'm just trying to attack the influencer creator world because that's where people are getting notoriety. And I experienced that in person though. I talked about on my podcast, like I went to an event that I got invited to by a specific big brand, and I went. And people were very everyone was nice, everyone was cool, and I'm meeting them and talking to them. We're exchanging info, right? But then the following week, I DJ'd for one of their events, or somebody from there invited me to DJ for one of their events. So there I was a DJ. As a DJ, a lot of those same people walked in, looked at me, and then went away because I was a prop. I'm just a guy playing the music. And everyone in the influencer world is exchanging information where I'm just there. But I like to think outside of the box sometimes. And I already know, all right, I'm not going to just sit here and all these connections be made in front of me, and I'm not going to leave with none of them,
Yeah.
So what I did is I played a very extra long song. I went for a walk to get food, and on my way back, hey, what's up? I'm Vinny. Or hey, and boom, I made 3 connections on my walk back to my setup. And I'm like, cool, I already made new connections and I'm good now. But the energy people give you when you're a DJ versus when you're out there in the setting are 2 different things. Like, sure, you get people who are like, yeah, fuck, that's dope, you're DJing, but that's it. There's not going to be, unless they need you, you're not going to get hit up.
So it's almost as if you felt like you were being used.
Yeah, something like that.
You were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like you said,
I was just one of you guys yesterday.
And now I'm just DJ.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That is pretty fucked up.
And I hear from a lot of DJs, like a lot of my fellow DJs from the radios, who are like, yeah, it's better to get invited to the event than to get booked by the event. Like, yeah, cool, you're getting paid, but long run, you're just the guy they paid, and you could get paid to pay somebody else tomorrow.
Damn, that's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're trying to do this. You started a podcast too. What was the motivation behind starting the podcast?
So the motivation behind the podcast, I've always been into the whole digital world. I mean, during pandemic, I did live streaming for 2 years, and I would tune in to other people in the live streaming world, and some were doing podcasts. And I mean, I've always been interested in the podcasting. I've always wondered why are people so into it? It's just us talking. People find it interesting, which is fucking crazy to me still to this day. But honestly, I stumbled upon Drink Champs, and I don't know if you guys know Drink Champs. It's a hip hop podcast, and they do interviews, but their interviews is a very chill setting, and it's a podcast vibe, and it's a lot of back and forth interviewing. But the dope part is that it's very laid back, and everyone's shooting the shit, and they're getting a lot of great answers from these artists because they're so laid back and they're drinking and chilling.
It's just genuine.
And compare it to a Apple Music interview, a radio interview, Spotify interview. Those are very like back and forth, very monotone. Not a lot of shooting the shit. And so my idea was like, man, they're doing this shit for hip hop. Let's do it for Latinos. And that was the basis of it. That was like, I want to do a drink champs for Latinos. Somebody's listening to this, you're welcome. You can take this idea. Look up drink champs, do it for Latinos before I do it. But that was the idea, right? And I've always had it in my brain. Then when they put me live on the radio last March, I got to meet more in depth with Melissa Rios, who's my co-host, Santa Rosa, who's like a radio DJ legend, and Juju I've already known, but I got to know him more too. And Juju's been in the radio industry for like 10 years, and he's one of those, like, he's been doing the work for so long that like now he's getting notoriety he deserves being on the radio, but he's the type of person that has been doing it so long that you put him in front of any setting, he's going to kill it. So, but it's a lot of like, everyone's kind of like like-minded people, and everyone is a jack of all trades in their own sense. But at the same time, in the radio world, it's so easy to get stagnant because you get on the radio, and for the most part, it's like, I made it, even though financially it ain't like that, to be honest. But you get in that mindset, you're like, oh, I'm on the radio. I'm DJing every day, or I'm on the mic every day, I have my show, and you're good. And now your whole world becomes the radio, and it's easy to get lost in that. And I've seen it. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of jocks who've been doing the same thing for 10 years, 15 years, just still on the radio, still DJing the same songs every day. You know, like for me, growing up the way I did, not having stability in terms of like having a home and always forced to make new friends and always forced to like switch up my scenery, I think that's what helps me with not staying stagnant. Like I got on the radio last March 2022, and I enjoyed the live aspect of it for maybe 5 or 6 months. I was in my honeymoon phase, right? Fuck, I'm on the radio. I get this rush. I mean, I still get the rush, don't get me wrong, when the countdown and stuff, but I'm already like, all right, what's next? Like, I'm here on the radio. Where can I grow from here? But I'm seeing the growth in the podcast world, and I'm seeing the growth in that. So I'm seeing the Drink Champs thing. I want to do this thing, right? Doing it with Latin artists and doing it for Latinos. And then I'm working with Melissa Rios, who's been in radio for 10 years, who's already, tried and true, and she's established. Santa Rosa, same thing, tried and true and established. Juju, who's known both sides, the business side and the actual radio world, for 10 plus years. And I'm right here, like, I know how to do the digital side of it. I know how to get mics. I know what I'm looking for. I could give the direction. I could produce it. But I also know how to talk. So I'm like, let's piece it together. So I pitched it to them. And we sat on it for a year. I pitched it to them like around May of 2022. And we didn't start it up till this past May. But a lot of it was, it's being on the radio, you're always looking for perfection. Yeah. And that's a huge fault. I mean, I'm sure you're your biggest critic, right? Mm-hmm. But on the radio, everything has to be tight. Everything has to be quick, simple, to the point. Everything has to be, just perfect. And we always held off on it because we're like, well, we don't have a studio. We don't have the right cameras. We don't have enough cameras. We don't have the mics. We don't have the right equipment. We don't have the lighting. Where are we going to do it? And it was always that thing. And one day I felt the stagnant, and I called Melissa, and I remember I told her, I was like, fuck it. Hey, Melissa, I'm going to go to your house. We're going to check out your garage area and see what we could do with it, and let's get this shit going. Like, I'm ready. Like I said, I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of, let's wait for this, let's wait for that. Like, no, let's just do it. And thank God she was opening up enough to it. I mean, she's opening up her home to me. So I showed up. We showed up together, and we started going online. Like, hey, let's buy some tables. We have some mics. We had like Yeti mics. I already had Yeti mics, and I already had 2 cameras. So I'm like, we have the cameras, we have the Yeti mics. Let's just do something. And then Santa Rosa was on board, and Juju was on board, and voila, we got in there. And I don't know if you look at our first episode, it's not what it was now. Because even then, we did the podcast for music. People were not fucking with the music aspect. They were fucking with our lives. They liked our live aspect of it. They liked when we talk about our weekends. They like those things.
Shit they could relate to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was a shift. Because at first it was like, nah, we need to keep it this way. And for 2 or 3 episodes, a lot of times we're trying to bring up topics that we use on the radio where it's like, Karol G, this and that, Karol G, not one, whatever. People didn't care about that. They cared about, like, fucking, I drank something nasty, and then people liked our response. You know, like things like that, like simple stuff.
Hey, beer gonna give me chorro. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
I was hungover or whatever. And, like, shit like that. And then that's what people caught on and liked. And those are the views we were getting on YouTube and our Instagram. All of our videos, people were more into the relatable stuff. And even now, we're still trying to figure it out. But really, that's really the whole basis behind it. Like, we had one idea, we threw it on, and it didn't end up that, but it's still kind of working, I think. So,
yeah. I mean, that's real life, dude. Everybody wants to relate. Like, we all have our issues and traumas or things that we go through or experience every day, right? So just hearing it from someone else is like, damn, I'm not alone. Like, I'm not the only fool that thought about this shit, you know, like,
or I'm not the only person that's been through that.
Exactly.
Like,
so it's just relatable. It kind of gives you that feeling. So it's like you kind of, like you said, you're shooting the shit. Like, the people listening, they feel like they're shooting the shit. They're sitting down with us, and we're just having a fucking conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have more freedom? Do you feel like you have more freedom when you do the podcast than when you're on the radio station?
Oh, absolutely. Because, I mean, with the radio, like, it's, you know, there's a lot of brands, a lot of stuff you can't say. Obviously, I mean, the cussing aspect alone.
Yeah.
And also, like, I mean, with the radio, you have to appeal to the masses, right? You have to appeal to the oldest person in your room and the youngest person in the room. So it's very hard to find that perfect middle. With the podcasting, it's kind of like we're going to appeal to who we appeal with.
Yeah.
Straight up. You know, like.
Is it true that you guys are, like, mandated to play a certain type of music or certain artists or whatever?
Not specific artists, but genre, yes. Because, I mean, the reality is on the radio, people tune in to hear a certain type of music.
Okay.
You know, you tune into Power 106 because you want to hear hip hop. You tune into K-Rock because you want to hear rock.
Yeah, but then I remember growing up, bro. I used to tune in. My favorite part of Power 106 was the top. What is it?
Tito's top 4 at 4.
Top 4 at 4. No, not the top 4. The new at 2.
The new at 2.
The new at 2, because it was like, oh, let me hear the new songs. Because I used to hate fucking
the repeats.
Like that. I think everybody hates when a song gets burned down.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like, oh shit, man.
With this, the radio, it's a rap.
Yeah.
It's not new no more.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But that sense, a lot of it though is like most people now don't sit there and listen to the radio all day.
Yeah, I haven't.
So it's a whole, like, it's kind of like their own version of an algorithm. So it'll be like one song's gonna play at this time, it's gonna play again in an hour and a half, because chances are you're not gonna be listening in an hour and a half, and there's gonna be a new listener an hour and a half from now.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, the people who sit there and listen to radio all day, every day, like, those are the ones who are like, I heard this shit so many times already. Yeah. But now in today's world, like, nobody really tunes into the radio all day.
Yeah, I don't even listen to radio anymore.
Every time you tune in, chances are you're going to hear a different song.
That's what I want to ask you right now that you brought it up. Like, you're talking about people not listening to the radio all the time. People are just going away from the radio.
Yeah.
Like, you know, to streaming, to Spotify, to Amazon. Like, do you think it's going to continue to change? Do you think radio might be a different thing where it's going to be streaming now? For example, you guys do all your morning show or whatever it is, pre-recorded, and then you guys just stream it? Or do you think it's going to continue to be a live thing?
For the most part, every morning show is live there on the radio. Mm-hmm. I think radio obviously is not what it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Radio had so much power before, and radio was like, this is a new song, and everyone believed it. Yeah. Now it's like, this is a new song, and I know that's just old. That's just been out for like a month already. You're barely playing it, you know? But honestly, I think people like to relate, and they like human interaction. So, and we have cool tickets. So you can't get that from Spotify.
True.
You know?
That's true.
Like Spotify, I mean, don't get me wrong, Spotify, Apple Music, I love them because, fuck, you have listen to whatever you want at the palm of your hands, which is dope. But sometimes, like for example, with the whole COVID, when COVID was hitting, right? Most people weren't watching the news, or if they're driving to work, you're not gonna get COVID news from listening to Spotify.
True.
But if you're listening to the radio station at the time, the radio stations were covering COVID. Or in between breaks, they'll be like, by the way, here's an update. You know, the LA Lakers canceled the rest of their season type shit, you know?
Yeah.
You don't get that from listening to even like a podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a podcast, you're going to hear something and it's going to live online for an X amount of time, but it's not live updates.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's not very current either. Like even then when this drops, I could say something like, I just saw this, like, oh yeah, Raiders are going to do good, blah, blah, blah. And then 2 weeks from now, I mean, they're probably going to winning.
People aren't going to believe that anyway. But.
Yeah. Whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, but things like that, like the live interaction is what makes it fun and what keeps it relatable. So I think there's always going to be a place in radio. Maybe not as big as it was before. I mean, you know, if you hear about middle of the U.S., it's not a lot. Most of it's not live radio unless it's like Chicago, like a big city. But for the most part, most of the radio stations are growing where it's like, for example, like I know like iHeart, right? iHeart, they'll have one radio show in the morning, but they'll stream it to all the other cities, you know? So that's kind of like the growth of it, right? In that sense. But in general, I think radio is always going to be here. I think people are always going to try to relate. I mean, Spotify is doing their Spotify radio. Yeah. Amazon Music is trying to do their own version of radio, you know? Sure. Like everyone's trying to start their own radio because that's what radio is. It's the interaction with whoever the radio jock is. And even then, like as a DJ, like, sure, because even there, a lot of people are saying how like a lot of DJs get replaced by playlists. Even at parties, like, yo, I don't need a DJ. Why am I going to pay him $500, $1,000 to be here where I have a big-ass speaker on my own? I'll just play music right here, or I'll play one of their old mixes. Yeah. But you don't get that interaction with the DJ. And if somebody wants a certain song or they want to hear a certain blend, like, you're not going to get that from Spotify. You're going to get it, you know, in person. So
yeah, you have to have somebody that gets it on the...
It's reading it, like you said, reading it.
And even then, like, on the radio at 12 o'clock, sometimes it's, you know, it's a sunny day and I'm like, oh, cool, I'm going to play fucking more upbeat music. Sometimes it's cold and rainy and I'm like, you know, play a little bachata. So I'm like, you know, something slow and vibey. Because it's, you know, it's raining, it's cloudy. Like, you're not going to get that from a computer.
That's true.
That's true.
That's crazy, man. I didn't know that DJing encompass all that. Like, it's just, like I said, my perspective was just
it's creative.
Show up and
I mean,
play music.
There's just so much thought that goes into it. Like, I thought I knew everything about DJing until I got on the radio. You know, like, I thought, like, oh, I'm going to show up, I'm going to play this. They're going to hear shit you never heard of before. But then I learned, like, oh, no, there's a process to it. And you have to relate to the oldest person, the youngest person in the room. And there's you have to hit certain timestamps because this song, you know, like, this type of upbeat music is great for 15 minutes. But if somebody's listening to you for a whole hour, it gets slow. It gets old. You have to, like, you know, go up and down in your BPM, right, throughout your mix and play different vibes and just keep people engaged. And, yeah, like, there's just so much thought that goes into it. And even then, like, you're getting, as a DJ on the radio, they'll give you a list. Let's say you get a list of, like, 50 songs, right, and these are the songs that the radio's playing right now. Sure, add another 10 or 15 of your own songs that you think would blend in, but you got to make the same 50 songs sound great every single day and different. Especially for that current listener. Like, if you hear me every day at 12 o'clock, chances are it's going to sound different every day, but I'm using the same songs, or very similar songs. You know? So that's where the creativity part comes into it. So being a radio DJ is a whole nother monster that, like, takes a lot of time, but that comes with doing the work as a street team.
Yeah, you start learning, like you said.
Yeah, you learn on the street team how to appeal to different people. So that's where all that work comes in.
So what's next? You know, you said you're always grinding, you're always hustling, you're always trying to do the next thing. You went from radio DJ, you're now podcasting, you influencer creator. What's next for you?
Honestly, right now, I'm just trying to learn how to enhance what I'm doing already. You know, I like I like to call myself a Mac of all trades. I mean, I'm Vinnie Mack, so I switched it up. But I just like to enhance everything that I'm doing. I did live streaming during pandemic, right? So now I'm trying to figure out a way to get back into live streaming, whether it's DJ or video games. I have so much love for video games, and that's another aspect of my life that I want to bring out into the culture. Trying to push the culture forward by doing my own events and, branch out in that. Like, Palakaya Podcast is great online, and I think we have a lot to offer. Now I want to bring it out into the real world, because our benefit is that most podcasters, and this is the real thing, I think most podcasters can't say they have host and a DJ on the same side.
Yeah.
Most other platforms, they require to outsource everything, and we really don't. Like I said, Juju knows both sides. He's part of the promotions department and marketing department at the radio station. So, like, he knows that whole aspect, how to throw an event. You got myself, who's a DJ, and I know audio equipment and everything. And then you got Melissa, who's arguably one of the best radio hosts out there. So what more do you need, right? So now it's like, let's figure out how to bring this out in the real world. And also in terms of live streaming, live streaming is still growing. There's all these new platforms, right? I don't know if you know about YouTube, but YouTube's trying to blow up their live streaming, and they're paying multi-millions of dollars for streamers to stream specifically just to them in the video game world. There's a platform called Kick as well. They're new, and they're doing live streaming, and they're paying millions of dollars for streamers to join their platform and stream specifically to them, and they're paying out their streamers ridiculous money. Like, I think it's a 95% you keep and 5% back. Because Twitch is 50-50, and Twitch, I mean, that's a great platform in itself, but live streaming, I'm trying to grow in that too. So
I thought Twitch was just for gaming.
It was.
Not for everything.
It was until pandemic. And then it became, people do IRL streams, in real life streams. So you go right there, and there's people out eating, and they have thousands of viewers of them just eating.
Everything is just another platform. Literally, it's just
what am I doing? I gotta start.
Like the card things you do. People are Twitch like going through cards, opening packs of cards.
Yeah,
selling cards. Yeah,
well, and they do it in the video games. Like people like, there's this game called Counter-Strike. In Counter-Strike, you can't a lot of the stuff you can't buy. Like, oh, I like this cool skin for this knife. You can't buy it. You have to get lucky and open a pack. So there's somebody who's like, I'm gonna buy $100 worth of packs and record myself or live stream it of me opening packs. And then people are looking at that.
They pay to be on your channel, pretty much.
Like, the channel's free, but they have subscriptions where it's like they'll pay $5 for, and you not getting commercials. You get a cut of that.
I gotta start doing that.
So I was and honestly, during pandemic, I was making almost like $2,000 a month. Just live streaming DJ. I was DJing and video gaming.
Shit.
So I'll be playing a video game, and I'll be like, yo, we'll like send you $5 if you take a shot. Send you $5 if you get 5 kills right now. Shit like that, like in Call of Duty or whatever.
They will tell you this, and then you would do it.
No, I'll read the chat. I'm like, shit, all right, let's cool. Like, they'll give me challenges.
Challenge accepted. Shit.
No, exactly. And then even when I would DJ, right, I'll be DJing, and I'll get hey, can you give me a shout out? Blah blah blah. Here's a $10 donation. All right, cool. Shout out to so and so from so and so. Shout out to you guys for listening to me right now. Hey, do you have this song? We'll give you $5, or we'll give you $1. Whatever. Like, it all adds up though.
That's crazy. I think I'm gonna start doing that for my car shit.
I've told you for a while.
And now, and this is free game for a lot of people. What I tell people to do is, when you're live streaming is the future. Mm-hmm. It's equivalent to doing radio, right? It's relatable and stuff. But you could do so much with the live stream. When it comes to a live stream, you're live streaming, right? Like, we're live streaming right now, right? We live stream. Now, once you're done with this live stream, you cut it. You post it on YouTube, and now it's a podcast episode. Mm-hmm. But you made money during live streaming. And during that live stream, you could also cut it up and make it real, make it a TikTok and all that stuff. And now you have streams from not only the live stream, but also from the YouTube world of it, from the IG Reels part of it. And then now you're just promoting it for your next live stream. And the live stream is just another, money-making asset that you could use to your advantage. Because technically, like, podcasting, most of it is shot like this already. Yeah. So live streaming it would just, you're adding 10, 30, maybe 100 viewers that you wouldn't have had from just posting it straight up.
Well, there's a lot of people that do, for example, like Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
They'll live stream it, and people obviously have to pay to be part of your Patreon.
Yeah.
So you charge like $1 a month or $2 a month, whatever it is, to be part of your subscription. So they get access to your channel. So it's pretty much like you streaming it.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I gotta check that shit out, man.
But it doesn't have to be just the big channels, though.
No.
Even small channels, when you're starting up, live stream it. If you have the technology.
That's a whole different
If you need help,
beast.
I can help you. See, I'm trying to get into consulting, too. Y'all need help with, you know, I got you.
I'm gonna hit you up, bro.
I know how to live stream. I mean, I posted, I know how to use the green screen and yeah.
It's like you said, bro, like we have to keep up with everything that's going on. Yeah. You know, we have to continue to progress. It's like I tell him in the podcast, like, no, I want to use this because it's going to make things easier. It's going to make things better. It's going to give us an advantage or it's going to do this. You know, it's constantly growing.
Yeah.
In certain ways.
And it all goes back from just learning how to be a great DJ, right? Like, technology has only helped us in the long run. Like, I'm going to the club with a backpack, not a crate. Yeah. You know, it's the same thing with equipment, digital world. And even then, I look at it as like the more knowledge I have on how to maneuver in this entertainment industry, whether it's DJing, whether it's talking behind the mic, whether it's recording, whether it's making graphics. It's kind of like with DJing, right? The more genres of music you know, the more business you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I know a lot of DJs who are just like, I'm just a reggaeton DJ, and that's all I do. I'm just a hip-hop DJ, that's all I'm going to do. Oh, I just do disco and freestyle, that's all I'm going to do. And I'm the person who's going to show up and I know how to do all those, so I could get all your gigs.
Yeah.
You know? So it's cool to be a jack of all trades or a mac of all trades. That's where I'm trying to be. So
nice.
Crazy shit, man.
I know. Like, who would have thought, right? Like, thinking about it, like, all deep and shit.
Yeah.
But you ready to move on to No Manches or what?
Let's go.
We have a segment called No Manches, bro. It's literally a no mames situation. It could be anything, a pet peeve.
It could be funny. It could be something that you really like. You're like, no mames.
Yeah, so, like, I'll start it out, Dad.
You want to?
Okay, my No Manches is going to deal with Thanksgiving. So, you know, we look forward to fucking turkey all year, right? Like, Thanksgiving, we're going to do this. It's going to be third turkey. Turkey's overrated as fuck.
You tripping, nah. You tripping.
I keep forgetting how fucking dry it is, and no matter how you make it.
How you cooking it?
Nah, first of all, my pops made the juiciest turkey this past Thanksgiving that I used to think like that until this past Thanksgiving. So
really?
A few days ago, yeah.
See,
maybe I need some good turkey food.
Maybe I need to try your pop's turkey.
Yeah.
But I've tried different people's turkeys, right? And it's always the same thing. It's like, for example, steak now to me. Steak is
don't even attack steak, dog.
Here we go.
Hey, I tried pork chop for the first time. It has the best flavors ever. But steak now, like, even steak is a little overrated for me now too.
Where are you buying this steak from?
Hey, I've been to cooking like chop houses, fool. Like,
bro, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but like, it's just become like so like, so turkey to me was overrated, and I was like, even with the family, we were like, you know what, next year let's mix it up. Let's do like some tri-tip and some fish or something, because the turkey was just, it's not it.
Nah. I only eat turkey once a year, and it's Thanksgiving. I don't like ham. I that's the thing.
See, I like the ham.
I don't like ham. What the fuck? It's not ham. Ham. I'll skip ham. By the way,
it's not ham.
By the way, hold on. By the way, that ham that was at the Thanksgiving family dinner this last Thursday, that shit was nasty. I didn't try it, and I'm glad I didn't, because that shit looked like
it was still alive.
Whoever the fuck made it, hey, check your shit.
Well, you can just microwave it and put on Hawaiian bread.
Nah, bro, this shit. Check this out. This shit. You know how you're supposed to get the slices?
Yeah.
That shit was Burunitas way. Like, it fucking, you would grab it and that shit would come crumble.
What the fuck?
I don't know who. Like, again, I ain't gonna talk. I'm talking shit, but I'm not talking shit. It was a family member. But
how the fuck does it crumble?
Like,
was it fried?
Trust me, I have no idea, dog. But that fucking ham was the nastiest ham I had ever seen. I'm glad I didn't touch it. It looked like it would have gave me chorro. Yeah, that's nasty.
Anything gives you chorro, technically.
Technically, but no, that ham was disgusting, bro. Huh?
Are you one of those people? Everything gives you a stomach ache and.
Well, I had my gallbladder removed. So
you have a good excuse then.
Yeah, I had my gallbladder removed.
Pretty decent excuse.
Had gallstones back in 2004, and I had my gallbladder removed. So
That's
It fucks with the digestive system.
I wouldn't fuck with ham either then.
No, but ham, it's just nasty. Like, I don't know.
But yeah, I guess I don't know. But
turkey, bro.
Yeah, turkey to me was overrated. That's my no manches.
Nah, I got every time I go to Six Flags, I have to have a turkey leg.
Even that shit, dog. Even the stew at the fair is full. But
I
anyways,
didn't say Six Flags.
Well, all right. Anyways, what's your
I'll
no
go next. My no manches. My no manches has to do with food too. Okay, McDonald's. I never understood this, and it's mostly McDonald's, and I'm attacking McDonald's right now. I don't give a fuck if they get mad at me. I pick up my son. You know, he's 8 years old. I pick him up. He gets out like, I don't know, like 1:30, 2. So I pick him up, and he's sometimes he's like, "Hey, Dad, can you take me to McDonald's?" All right, cool.
Sometimes or every day, fool, because every day I talk to you at McDonald's. Every fucking day.
No, not every day. So sometimes I take him to McDonald's, right? And it's not just in that McDonald's, it's in every McDonald's, because it happened on Friday morning when I was leaving my brother's house. I went to go pick up my camera, and my kid wanted McDonald's on the way home. And it was early. It was Friday. It was day after Thanksgiving. So I hate rolling up to the drive-thru and ordering shit, and you pay for your food, and they send you to go park at number 1, park at number 2. I hate that shit. No manches way. Why? Give me my fucking food.
And there's the fucking cars behind you. Nothing. It's just go away to number 1 or number 2.
Yeah, but no, there's cars usually, right? But the reason they do that is because they're timed. They got to fucking get the car out within a certain time. Okay, that's not my fault. Maybe McDonald's needs to check, hey, you guys are fucking over-exaggerating on the amount of time that is needed to serve somebody.
Yeah.
No mames, let's change that shit. Because I don't like going number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever the fuck, because you usually forget your food. They'll forget something.
Or they'll fuck you wrong order.
Wrong order. Okay? And then you ask for condiments, they don't give them to you. They have to go back and forth. You waste literally 30 minutes to get food because they send you in the space. And this Friday, it was an even bigger no manches because there's nobody in the line, dog. I pull up to McDonald's, nothing behind me, nobody. Order my shit, simple shit. It'll give me a breakfast platter for my son.
Simple shit. It's the breakfast platter has fucking pancakes, eggs.
Okay, but
give me the whole shebang right now.
Yeah. But bro, it's fucking morning. You should have that ready, right? I pull up and I'm literally like, I just pulled up. I paid. Nobody behind me still. Nobody. Can you park at number 1? I said, park at number 1? Well, there's nobody behind me. And they get mad at me.
Sir, do you want your food or not?
No, I'm saying, like, what? You know what I'm saying? No manches. So that's my big no manches. McDonald's, change your shit.
McDonald's has a lot of food. Their soft serve never fucking works either. And
that's
shit.
true, yeah.
So that's another
soft serve, yeah.
I mean, you can't go with high expectations either.
That's true.
True, but no manches. Send me the number 1.
This was expecting like
McDonald's, dog. My waitress.
Then bring the condiments, dog.
No me mandes allá, güey. Like, give me my fucking food. I paid you. Give me my food.
Anyways, bro, what's your no manches?
Okay, mine is, well, my beef right now is at Best Buy. Black Friday shopping. Did you guys Black Friday shop?
Nah,
no, I don't do that no more.
Online, bro.
I hate that shit.
Online.
Okay, well, no, I did online, and I did it the night before, curbside pickup, and I paid for 3 things. They ended up being expensive or whatever, and I go to my Best Buy app the next morning, curbside unavailable. What's the point of making it an option? And then, so I get there and I have to get off the car, which, God forbid. But I got off the car and I'm like, cool, well, I guess since curbside not available, I'm going to just go to that shit. That line was insane.
And this is for Black Friday, right?
This is just a pickup. Friday. This is not even like the regular line, but they mixed the regular line with the pickup line, and then you said stuff to get to the back of it, and it fucked up my whole night. I was there for like an hour.
I would have been like, fuck that, I'll come back
waiting to pick up something.
If you would have known me, bro, I would have warned you, because it happened to me once before I did that shit. I did the same thing. Order, pick up, but it was for Black Friday, and I failed to realize there's going to be lines.
No, but this was curbside, though. It said, click here for curbside, which means they bring it out to you.
Yeah. No, but I think they take that shit off on Friday because the amount of people that go into the store, they probably can't even afford to have people go outside.
I mean,
I know,
but why give it the option?
I know, but I'm like, maybe I messed up because that morning it still gave me the option like curbside is available.
Oh shit!
But I waited till afternoon. So maybe that's where I messed up. But even then, like, don't make it an
Don't
option
make it
and
an
take it
option.
out. Come on,
Don't send me to number one.
Oh, they do that shit all the time. Oh, pick up in 1 hour, ready in 1 hour, and you go in an hour and shit. Oh, it's not ready.
Well, you're not supposed to
You-
go until they
you-
send you the text. Fool.
You wait. Well, they send you the text, and then you
Yeah,
wait
they said
another
you till you
fucking
get
hour.
there, and there's like, oh yeah, I have to go get it. And
Yeah.
it's literally just the guy just walks over, grabs it, and here you
Seriously.
go.
So,
And it's
so
like,
Best Buy doesn't have the thing that Target does.
What do you mean?
So Target
They
does
send
the
you a
same
text.
thing.
Best Buy
No,
sends you a text.
Target has this, right, where they send you the text, it's ready for pickup. Now, obviously, they don't have it outside. But you could tell them, I'm on my way.
oh yeah, no, it doesn't have
I
that.
know.
Oh, it doesn't? Okay, because Target
You would
is
think
badass.
it's Best Buy.
Yeah,
technology.
That's badass. I'm on my way.
Fucking Geek
And they
Squad
put it
fucking
outside.
up, dog.
No, but I feel you, bro. Yeah, I hate that
But
shit,
yeah.
too.
That
That
shit
shit
fucked them
happens
the
a
whole
lot.
Friday.
Just Black Friday in general, dog. It's
Yeah, I
fucking
don't do Black
crazy.
Friday
People
no more,
camping now. There's people camping out in downtown.
They still do
Covina.
that shit?
Yeah, fool. There's people
No
camping out.
way.
Downtown Covina at the van store and shit. Like I was like, it's a little ass store, fool. Like, why are you guys camping, dog? Like, why? Like,
I don't know.
Nah, you know what? Even like Citadel, have you the Citadel
they were
right
there
now?
1:30 in the morning. I did
Oh,
that shit one year.
but they block off everything. Like you have to go in a certain way
Yeah.
to get to the main parking lot's a bitch. You have to park like far. It's additional parking and.
Why do people
This
still
is a whole
do that
mission.
shit? Shop online.
Well, I mean, look, I said this on my podcast episode too. This is the only night of the year where I could where I actually walk around, and I kind of like, see what's out there. Because you go online and you're gonna scroll and it's gonna be your algorithm selling to you.
Sure.
But when you're out in person, you might see and sometimes they have in-store only things, and you get lucky, like
Yeah, true.
so you find a little $5 thing, little $10 thing, but you're walking through, and everyone's in a good mood for the most part. Usually, beginning of Black Friday, everyone's in a good mood. Later on, everyone's rude as hell.
Once they open the doors, that's it. Yeah,
We're not fighting this shit.
everybody went
Yeah.
for themselves and shit.
Like in the beginning, it's all fresh, but then later on, the store's all musky. Go in
Smells
there,
like ass and shit.
nasty and
It's all them
papas.
fools that were outside. They didn't
Yeah.
shower for 2 days.
For
Yeah.
real. Camping out.
Camping out, yeah.
For real.
Oh, fuck that. You ready to move on to the last part?
Yeah, no, let's move
All
on.
right, this last part, bro, is words of wisdom. I'm pretty sure you've seen them. We put them up on Mondays. This is where you get to tell your viewers, our viewers, anybody who's listening, something that you live by, that you do on a daily basis that helps you be better, become better, or whatever motivates you.
Okay. For me, I mean, motivational wise, my family is my motivation. My growth is my motivation. But for words of wisdom, I just tell people, don't stop doing what you're doing. Don't get influenced by outside influencers because, I mean, I know that sounds off, but don't get influenced by what other people think is what I meant. Don't get influenced by what other people think. At the end of the day, you're going to live with your decision. So do something that you love and keep doing it. You're only crazy until people buy into it, and just don't stop. I am the product of not stopping. I am the product of, because I'm not the best DJ. I'm not the best behind the mic. I'm not the best recorder. I'm not the best with, green screens and graphics, but I've learned to make a business out of it because I just didn't stop doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept learning and just embracing everything that comes with it, whether it's easy or hard. But remember, the other thing too is if it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
That's true.
Yeah.
So just keep working, keep grinding.
Cool.
That's the thing, dog. Everybody thinks it's all fun and games until they start doing it and shit.
Yeah,
Like it's a bitch. People don't see the behind the scenes of everything.
exactly.
People see the success that someone has, but they don't look at the hard work it fucking took to get there.
Yeah, they just see the Instagram post,
Yeah.
but
There
they
you
didn't
go.
see what it took to get there.
Yeah, there you go.
You just have to ride the wave too, because with that, like,
True.
there's gonna have I've done a lot of different things in my life. Like right now, I sell collectibles. I've been selling collectibles for a long time, but recently they've allowed a lot of people to sell. So like, I'll log on to do a show, and it's like fucking 50 sellers selling, and I'm just like, what the fuck, like. But it's like you said, they think it's that easy, and then they log on, and before you know it, they're gone. Like the next week, you'll notice that they're not selling anymore. So it's if you're committed to what you do and you know how to do it good, just stay consistent and ride the wave, because everybody else will fall off. Like there's always gonna be a peak or a mountain, and there's gonna be levels. Where you're at the mountain, it depends on if you're consistent and if you're good enough on what you do. Everybody else will fall off.
Exactly.
So,
and everyone goes up the mountain at their own pace.
exactly.
You know, some take baby steps, some get lucky and get a ride up there, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, as long as you make it up there, it's all that matters.
Yeah.
That's true.
True.
Hey, man, we want to thank you for coming out, not just for being a guest, but for what you're doing. You know, like you said, you're all about the Latino and pushing the culture forward.
Absolutely.
Through your music, through, you know, your radio station, through your podcast, and just through collabing with people and being around us, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we've chatted it up a couple of times, and it's just dope to be pushing the culture forward.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sorry I don't speak Spanish or too much Spanish. I do speak it, but I'm comfortable speaking English. So just throwing that out there.
Nah.
You know, no, because working at a Spanish radio station is crazy.
Yeah.
True.
A lot of it is like, why don't he speak Spanish? Whatever.
Hey, you know,
I'm doing stuff for the culture, and
Yeah.
that's all that matters to me.
exactly. And, you know, that's what we're going to say. There's a lot of people that are going to hate on people just because they can't speak it correctly. You know?
They hate on me and shit. I have a video out there that's pretty viral. People hate it because I say I speak Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
So, what the fuck? Hablo bien español. Te puedo asegurar que yo hablo bien español. Pero a la misma vez.
But like at the end of the day, it's about pushing it forward, man.
I
As
mean,
long
that
as you
Yo
rep it-
Sabo game exposed the fuck out of me.
Hey, for
When
real.
we played it, you know,
Yeah,
they
I
just
think
Yo
they
did that
Sabo
to us,
exposed
too.
me.
That's a
but-
good game. That's a good game.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, shout out to Yo Sabo. Yeah,
Yeah.
say shout out to Yo Sabo.
But I did get the one right, even though I kind of cheated. But it's fine. You know?
But yeah, man, thanks again,
Hey,
man.
thank you. Tell people where they can find you, bro. Like if they want to listen to some of your mixes, also where they can find you on the radio.
Yeah, so I'm on the radio every day, 93.9. You can hear me 12 o'clock every single day, Monday through Saturday. I'm also at DJ Vinnie Mack on all platforms. I also have Palacaya Podcast, which you can find us on YouTube and Spotify as well. And you can find me out in the streets randomly. So
Hitting
that's
up
pretty
all the
much
clubs.
it. Yeah, I mean mostly too. I do a treehouse a lot, and I do travesuras, which is a pop-up party, which is one of those huge theater ones. I gotta get you guys out there to show up to one of them. Travesuras is it. We're gonna start up more next year, but travesuras is it.
Okay.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Hey, thank you again, bro. Everybody, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Welcome back 1 month away from the end of the year, and hopefully you got your New Year resolutions in line.
Yeah. Or not. I mean, if you don't, it's fine.
Yeah,
New Year's is when you make it.
Yeah, exactly. Let it come right away.
Yeah, I've been setting my resolution for like 3 years already. So.
Same here, bro.
Right.
So that's why we said the show. Like, nah, dog. But anyway, everybody, thanks again.
Peace out, guys. All right.